Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Mosquito season is in full swing, and officials are warning people in the metro area to be more cautious.
Cass County Vector Control says that 5 of about 30 recent water samples have tested positive for the West Nile virus, and rainy weather has created a breeding ground for these pests.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly looked into the dangers of buzzing around you and what you can do to keep them off.
There are a lot of mosquitoes out there. We're aware of that. Our crew have been working kind of, around the clock lately to get ahead of it. Unfortunately, we are expecting things to get a little worse before they get better.
Carter Woodley with Cass County Vector Control is preparing for a night of mosquito spraying across Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead. He says numbers are high right now, but standing water in and around the area could mean these numbers are about to skyrocket.
Last month or so, we've definitely picked up on the rain, and the mosquito numbers have increased.
But there is one type of mosquito showing up in especially high numbers.
The Culex tarsalis.
This is one mosquito prone to carrying West Nile virus.
In other years, it kind of seems to be one area of town or one area of the county, or rural versus city, and right now we're kind of seeing it everywhere.
So the county is taking extra precaution and spraying across the valley.
If you are going to be outside, definitely wear bug spray. DEET is always a great go-to.
One Fargo dad we spoke with always takes precaution.
We don't stay out too terribly late, so we're always home before dark when they really start to come out.
Shane Olson says he also uses bug spray to protect his children, but others said they are worried about the harm the chemicals may have. Vector Control suggests using alternatives like candles or natural repellents like lemon or eucalyptus. However, they assure parents that DEET bug repellent is still a great option for people of all ages.
Some bug spray seems to do just fine for us.
In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
For more information on local spraying and mosquitoes, Cass County Vector Control invites everyone to follow them on social media or check out their website.
The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office confirms that a woman's body was pulled out of a lake in Bemidji this afternoon. Authorities received a 911 call about an object in Lake Bemidji near the Tourist Information Center that looked like it could be a body. Emergency crews responded to the scene and did in fact recover a body of a female. An autopsy will be conducted to determine identification.
Vice President Mike Pence made a stop in Grand Forks today, speaking with airmen about the nation's military. Dozens of military personnel watched the vice president, who expressed his gratitude for their service. During his remarks, Pence discussed the success of the Grand Forks Air Force Base, specifically with Global Hawk. He says the mission plays a critical role in national security. He also talked about how he and President Trump plan to keep rebuilding the U.S. military. We spoke with some airmen prior to Pence's speech to hear what they were looking for during his visit.
The message I want to make sure he's aware of the important work that we do up here in this base. The Global Hawk, the RQ-4 mission is an extremely important mission. I'm not sure enough folks know about the importance of the mission and the fact that this mission is in demand.
To know that there's someone up there in a higher office who's here listening to the airmen, listening to people on the ground level, because that's how things get accomplished.
After speaking with the airmen, Pence took time to take pictures with them. The airmen we spoke with tell us they were excited to have the vice president visiting their base and said it felt good to be acknowledged by someone in that role.
We dropped a few degrees today, and if you like that, we've got more of the same tomorrow. Hutch, what are we in store for tonight?
Well, we already have temperatures slipping into the 50s in our northern counties. We're not far from that in the FM area at 60 degrees right now. So a cool one indeed. Maybe a good opportunity to turn off the air conditioner and crack the windows open, let some fresh air inside, because we're on our way down overnight into those lower 50s, upper 40s possible for some in the northern valley and north central parts of Minnesota. Skies should be clear and the wind takes a little bit of a break. Tomorrow, some more wind and cool temperatures to talk about and a few showers of rain. I'll go over the details on that and have an outlook for the weekend ahead here in just a couple of moments.
All right, thanks.
A new task force to help local students with severe behavioral needs is in the works. Fargo's school board met for its summer work session today, and members agreed to move forward with a Setting D task force. The goal, to determine the services needed to support students with challenging behaviors. The task force will include school district staff, community service providers, parents, and elected leaders.
A nice cross-section of our community coming together to have the conversation of what are the appropriate next steps.
The task force was initially proposed earlier this year after plans to create a Setting D only facility at Agassiz were put on hold.
An elderly Fargo man who is charged with murdering his wife remains hospitalized, but authorities say not in Fargo. 85-year-old Louis Averson is recovering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He told police he and his wife tried killing themselves by carbon monoxide poisoning in their South Fargo garage last month. When that didn't work, Averson says he shot and killed his wife and then shot himself. Cass County's jail administrator tells us that he is in a secure facility but is not being watched by anyone from the Cass County Sheriff's Department. Averson is described as needing constant assistance, and efforts continue to find a place that can provide the level of care he needs. Cass County has not received any bills to this point, so it's unclear what the county might be on the hook for surrounding his recovery and incarceration. If he is found guilty of the charges, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
A man's jaw is broken and had to be wired shut after he says he was attacked by 6 men in downtown Fargo this past weekend outside of Fort Knox and didn't provoke them. 22-year-old Bailey Varberg of West Fargo says he didn't have much to drink, but the sidewalks were packed with people, making it hard to get around, and ended up running into a group of guys. He says 6 men circled around him and pinned him up against some parked cars, punching him on his right side, breaking his jaw in half.
I had blood gushing out of my mouth. My hand was covered in blood. I was spitting teeth out in my palm. I'd split my jaw right down the middle. So I was given 4 screws in my mouth, and then those are all wired together, and then there's a metal plate in the bottom of my jaw.
Varberg says while in the hospital, he made a report with Fargo police, but felt like they didn't care to find the men responsible. We reached out to police today, and all they said was an officer is following up on it. If you have any information regarding this case, contact Fargo Police at 235-4493.
Tonight was pretty special for Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood. She flew on board that airplane. It's a B-25 bomber known as Miss Mitchell. This particular plane was used in World War II. In 1942, it carried bombs used against Japan. Christine told us that she could feel her throat shake during the 20-minute cruise. She sat on a small seat behind the pilots, then went below the nose during the flight. That's where there's a machine gun. This is one of many pieces of military history you can check out at the Fargo Air Show this weekend. If you want to learn more about what's going on there, head to our website, valleynewslive.com.
There are a lot of things that make Minnesota unique, including some pretty clever signs along the highways.
Up next, some interesting but unsettling links between changes in the climate and suicide.